The World Economic Forum, known as WEF, on the Middle East and North Africa, concluded with a focus on the high youth unemployment in the region. Youth unemployment rates are among the highest in the world, 27.2% in the Middle East and more than 29% in North Africa, which is more than double the global average, according to the International Labour Organization. Now, a regional WEF official announced that 9 companies will train young people to create 100,000 jobs in the region by 2017. And the Beirut Hub's Global Shapers, an initiative of the World Economic Forum, saw 2 of its members attend, Mr. Afif Tabsh and Waleed Abd El Rahman. Welcome, Afif, and welcome, Waleed. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Youmna.
So I'm going to start with you, Waleed. Can you tell me a little bit about the Global Shapers?
The Global Shapers are basically a global network of local communities led by young people who are exceptional in their potential, drive, and achievements. Their focus is on how to touch their communities in a in a positive manner to make the state of the world a better place. We are 5,200 young people under the age of 30 around the world in around 416 hubs or cities in 165 countries.
465 hubs.
416 hubs, yes.
416 hubs.
Yeah.
And Afif, you can tell me a little bit about the Beirut Hub. You're the creator of the Beirut Hub. Tell me a little bit about this hub specifically.
So the Beirut Hub, the Global Shapers Beirut Hub, started somewhere around end of 2011. And ever since, we've been working on several activities and recruiting more young, achieving individuals in Lebanon. And our main focus is youth issues and youth unemployment. Specifically, we've been working on it in the past year, where we did mentorship activities for youth, and we did several conferences and events tackling youth unemployment in Lebanon. And one of the things we were interested in, we found quite exciting, is that the World Economic Forum on MENA region focused on youth unemployment and youth involvement in the region. And so a lot of what we were working on was tackled and involved in the discussions related to the World Economic Forum.
Okay, they spoke. I know that Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, was there personally, and I know a lot of businessmen and leaders from different countries and across the business world were also there, and they spoke about creating jobs for the Middle East. Did they say how or what they would do in order to alleviate the situation? You want to answer this?
Yeah, there are 2 ways to do that. They signed, as you said, a number of agreements that will create jobs. That's number 1. Number 2 is that there was a focus on public and private partnerships, and from there building a bridge to youth entrepreneurship. So how to integrate or create partnerships between youth startups with big corporates. So that's number 1. And number 2, how to facilitate or simplify the business creation and job creation process for the entrepreneurs in the different countries in the Arab world.
Okay, we were talking a little bit about this before the interview started, and you said there were specific companies that were there and said that they would help with the whole situation, right?
Yep.
So there was, you said General Electric among them. Who else was there?
There was General Electric, Ericsson, Philips, FedEx. These were the big ones. As well, there was a lot of participation from local or regional entrepreneurs who are young, showcasing their work in order to show the bigger corporations how they can integrate and partner together to deliver better value to the region.
Okay. Afif, let's bring it back to Lebanon and home. Lebanon has a high unemployment rate as well, and you said that for the last couple of years, we've been working on youth unemployment in Lebanon.
Sure.
How do the Global Shapers plan to tackle youth unemployment in the coming year? Especially, do you think your view or you've learned something in this conference to help tackle Lebanon specifically now?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the last statistics I read about Lebanon specifically was somewhere in 2012, where they said the unemployment in Lebanon is ranging between 25 to 27%.
Which
That's
is
the youth
extremely
unemployment.
high.
It's extremely high, but it's within the average of the region, so it's not way beyond the region's overall average. So the way we are working on it is focusing on one type of activities, which is, we call it speed mentorship, where we bring experts in their fields and we bring university and school students who are interested in focusing or in doing certain specialization, whether it's design, the engineering, or whatnot, and we give them access to people in the market. So the experts will tell the students or the participants of such an event how their work is and what they do and what kind of fields they can specialize in, and then the students will at least have an idea, not just from what they read in the books or what they hear from their parents, but from people exactly in the field that they are interested to work in, to tell them more about how's the work, what's the pay, what are the challenges they face, so that they make better decisions on what kind of career they go through.
Right, because I remember when we were in university, this type of mentorship usually, when you have somebody who's been there and who's been in that specific field, getting that kind of advice is unparalleled and is usually very specific. Waleed, what did you take from the conference? Like when you look back and you think, I was in the Dead Sea for that 3-day conference, meeting all those different people. Was there anything that you retained that you can share with us?
It's one thing that is right on my mind is how to, and it was a big discussion, is how to look at radicalization and from a perspective of marginalized people. So how can we create more jobs? How can we facilitate the education process? And as well, how to look at the religious rhetoric in a way that promotes peace versus having a high unemployment and then a lot of youth go towards the radicalization.
Right.
In the region.
I'm guessing this was a big topic because of what's happening with ISIS in the region, and they could not, even in Jordan, they could not talk about it.
Yeah.
They could not talk about it because of the high influx of refugees from Syria and the different things happening in neighboring countries. So what was the main?
So one conclusion is very important. Create jobs, have less problems. This is the message to the governments. You need to look at youth as opportunities for prosperity versus population that we need to deal with. So this enabler of the youth, when engaged on this decision-making table, they're able to come up with creative solutions that engages more youth and therefore make the radicalization in the region much less, and therefore a better future.
All right, thank you. I'm going to finish with you, Afif, really quickly. Tell me what you took from it.
One of the key factors that I liked about the forum that happened in the MENA region is that the involvement of youth inside not just the conference, but how everyone was talking about better engagement of youth at the level of policy making, at the level of entrepreneurship, at the level of coming up with new strategies to engage youth in the employment and creating opportunities and empowerment. Not just working with youth as a beneficiary of the project, but rather making them as a partner of designing the programs and the initiatives of governments, private sector, and civil society for the future.
So this is the whole Global Shaper.
Which is the
idea. It's basically incorporating the youth in everything. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
That was Mr. Afif Tabsh to my right and Mr. Waleed Abd El Rahman to my left, talking about the Dead Sea Conference of the World Economic Forum in Jordan. And